It's up to you, New York, New York.
All right, how we doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. I am your host, Richie, here with my guy, Mr. Idris Salam, aka Bosco from the Bronx.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? What's going on tonight? How y'all doing?
No complaints, bro. Um, Feeling good about this Giants roster.
Yes, sir. Speak on it.
Uh, yeah. Calvin Austin, good pickup. Good pickup. A guy that can fit in as a solid veteran, too, while we figure out if we're going to add a young stud in this draft. I will say this, Idris.
Yeah.
The more I see the way things are playing out,
Mhm.
unless if we are able to get a generational talent, like an Arvell Reese or a Sonny Styles, I am going to say that the New York Giants may very well draft my guy Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame. I've been saying this. I keep
Yeah.
saying it. It gives the Giants something that nobody or damn near nobody else has. And the beauty of that, you have both Scatterbo as well as Mr. Love
Yep.
under contract on the rookie deals. So you got
Yep.
rookie control over these guys if the Giants go that way. I'm also willing to go as far as saying that the Giants could potentially trade back
Mhm.
maybe to 7, let's say, because Washington's in the market for a linebacker as well.
Yeah.
Maybe trade back to 7, and if he's there, that's where you snag him. I would say that. Well, New Orleans, no, New Orleans isn't going to be in the market for him now.
Nope.
I mean, if the Kansas City Chiefs really wanted to get cute and pair him with Walker, I would say that that's a possibility, but nah. With the
Possible.
Chiefs' short window to keep that thing going and get back into the upper crust of the league, they're going to add somewhere else. They're not going to add to running back.
I don't think so either. I think they'll add someone on the front line, add maybe another DB also, but I don't see them adding another running back though. 'Cause they still have a sort of a running back room. I know Rasheed Rice is going through his nonsense, da da da. But I don't see them really drafting another guy like Love. We got Kenny Walker. So and that 5 pick, yeah, we can move back to 7 because like I said, we're not in need of any of the real critical positions like quarterback, wide receiver. I mean, we can use another number 2, but we can grab that in the second round, third round. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I'm all for adding more talent, no question
mhm,
about it. But to
yeah,
your point, I don't think the Giants are in a position where they feel more pressure to have to get one of the top 2 or 3 wide receivers in this draft
right.
because of the fact that, I don't like the Slayton contract. I don't think any Giant fan that knows the
Uh,
numbers or feel good about that. But, it is what it is. He's on the team.
yeah.
Um, Malik Neighbors coming off the knee injury. Calvin Austin, um, I'm pleased with this. Talked to a
I am.
friend of mine today who is a Steelers fan. She
Mhm,
herself was a little disappointed that the Steelers didn't keep Austin. We're
mhm.
getting a good player here.
Good depth. Good depth. So I'm cool with it because I remember I saw Harbaugh say a few days ago he's going to draft the best player available, and I don't know if that's smoke and mirrors, but I trust him because I see what he's doing now. People say, "Oh, he's building another ball on the Ravens." No, I won't say that. He's getting back to what New York Giants football is: power, and that's what I'm seeing. Power. So we'll see what we do. I mean, I'm happy with what the signings we had. We did grab a few Ravens players, but that just goes to show how much they want to play for this guy. You know.
I'm not gonna name drop because I don't want to come off as a hater
Yeah.
or be, that guy.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is there's a young fella, a younger fella, not that young,
How you
there's a
do?
fella who has a Giants podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like legitimately wigging out over the concern that we don't have a guard. I'm going to hit on that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that you don't want to go into the draft to have to take players that are essentially going to be starters right away as opposed to depth pieces. And what I mean by depth pieces is that you want to at least have these kids sit a decent chunk of the year if your line is good enough. But I remember
Yeah.
a Giants offensive line last year. Now,
Yeah.
granted, some of that was predicated off of Dart's legs too, because when Neighbors went down, Dart had to really go in
Yeah.
business in a different way. And
Yeah.
we have a quarterback that's mobile. But the point I'm making is the New York Giants were number 5 in the NFL in rushing last year.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive line has significantly improved, even though on some metrics they are still not where they want to be. Now,
Yeah.
Evan Neal, we bring him back. I'm going to get back to this guy, too. This is a little circle. I'm going to come back to this. But he's over here talking about that with void years and stuff, we need to go dip into 2027 and
Mm-hmm.
2028's potential cap. As you all know, the cap goes up every year. But
Yeah.
no, no, and no. This guy, John Harbaugh,
Mm-hmm.
is a winner. I think it's incredible that so many people in our fan base,
Yeah.
you can build a roster the right way, and you still have so many people that are either wigging out nervous or just flat out fucking complaining.
Yeah. Yeah. We have that in our ranks, man. Some
It's
people just
wild.
talk just to be talking, and what they say makes little to no sense.
I mean, I
Yeah.
more than understand the
Yeah.
frustration of a fan base that after being on top of the world in Super Bowl 46, beating
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady and the legendary Bill Belichick for a second time in a 5-year span, I understand the frustration that we haven't even remotely been that good, and it happened fast after that. The plight
Yeah.
happened fast. I get it, with the exception of two sprinkles of quick playoff losses. We did get one against Minnesota. Green Bay blew our doors off in 2016. I try to forget that. That's the boat incident. We know all about it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I really question
Mm-hmm.
if it's just a generational thing where some fans maybe were brought into this fanhood of being a Giant fan only knowing losing. Because one thing that I have always said about the New York Giants is that it's very cyclical. The
Yeah.
history, very very cyclical. Because the Giants have a decent winning percentage, not a phenomenal one.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the history post merger, just talking about the Super Bowl era, I'll even cut off the previous 4 championships. We'll just keep it in the Super Bowl era. You had 2 decades in before we got our first one.
Yeah. Yep.
But what I find funny, since '86, which was our first one,
Hmm.
Who has more Super Bowl victories? The New England Patriots, the New England Patriots,
Hmm.
and the New England Patriots. So I would cool the Jets on a rough decade and a half and losing faith that it's all gone. We get it.
Yeah.
We want the hot coordinator route for too long. I get it. I do. But the toxicity and just some of like the suggestions truly amuse me. I'm like, guys, what is this, day 4 of free agency already? And it's like we're already doing the freak out before the draft. My favorite thing that this person said was, you're lucky if you get one starter out of
Mhm.
the draft immediately. I'm like, dog, did you watch last year's draft? Cam Scatterbo
Mhm.
capable to start week 1 if he had to, or if they wanted to do it that way.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart capable to start week 1,
Yeah.
absolutely capable to start week 1.
Yep.
Abdul Carter did start week 1.
Yep.
I don't know. Am I missing something here? Marcus
No.
Embo, dude is like a jack of all trades. He could play center, he could play tackle, he could play guard.
Right.
And you're worried that we don't have a potential guard? Evan Neal's coming back because I personally think Coach John Harbaugh is viewing this as a coaching challenge to get him right.
Right. I agree 100% because, like I said, Harbaugh said he saw something in Evan Neal, and I mean, Evan Neal has some quality. I mean, he's just been, I don't want to say lazy. He's just been not just been stepping up to playing to the best of his ability. And like you said offline, we know what Harbaugh like. He has that offensive line, and he likes to push the defensive line backwards. And I'm pretty sure he's going to really get in there with Evan Neal and say, "Hey, let's watch this tape. Let's get you right." So I don't have a problem with that. And like, we got a guy who can play 3 positions anyway, guard, center, and tackle. So, but I'm leaving it in the hands of the coach, man. I mean, he's been a proven winner.
Our new punter, last year only 6 touchbacks, if I'm not mistaken, in 65 attempts. That's
Hmm.
pretty good. Yards per
Yeah.
punt, decimal points behind the 2 leaders in first and second, over 50 yards a punt.
Yep.
We pick up a 6-time Pro Bowler who plays a dying position, which is traditional fullback, nicknamed Pancake Pat.
Right.
And we're worried about the schematics of how our blocking schemes are going to go down.
We
This
did pretty.
draft offers so much defensive talent. That's
Yeah.
the focal point. You want to go get Jeremiah Love at pick 5? Just make sure you get him or get him in the first round. Wonderful. You want to get one
Yeah.
of these stud linebackers? Because we're going to, we're not going to put all our eggs in Micah McFadden's basket or even
No.
Tremaine Edmonds for that matter. I'm fine with that.
Right.
But I will never understand, after doing something substantial like this, bringing in a proven winner, similarly to what we did last time we won a Super Bowl. We brought in
Hmm.
a proven winner from Jacksonville. Tom Coughlin had that team 1 win away from a Super Bowl berth in their second year of existence, and he took them there before the turn of the century one more time to the AFC title game before winning 2 with us. And he had
Right.
experience in the organization, obviously the Parcells era, and he
Yep.
was more than good at BC, good enough to cost Notre Dame a national championship.
Do that.
I'm
Yep.
like, I, I don't get it. I do want your
You
I,
know,
I do want your opinion on this. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, but I got a question for you.
what I see with a lot of younger Giants fans, they get lost in the sauce, and it's like they play Madden all the time. It's like these guys play Madden. I'm like, look, dude, our offensive line did damn good last season. We did damn good. You know,
When you consider the circumstances, yeah.
yes, We did damn good,
When
So
you lose your
mhm,
potential perennial All Pro receiver who's only in year
right,
two,
right, right out the gate.
literally, he played 2 quarters with Jackson Dart.
That was it. That was it. Season over. And then you lose Scatterable, you know. I think the line did pretty good, and we're a year later. We didn't lose anything really significant. Nothing to say, oh man, oh God, we're in trouble. You know, but now we got a coach who basically, like, and it's not to knock Dable, but his first coaching job, and he's done a lot of fires, first New York. But we got
I personally
Harbaugh.
think Dable is still a quarterback guy, a
Yeah, oh
quarterback
yeah,
whisperer of sorts. He had
for
Jackson Dart
sure.
playing at a decent level. I'm not going to put that all on Dable. I think Jackson Dart's damn good,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
not head coach material. I will say this: I think Brian
hmm
Dable's going to do a very good job in Tennessee.
I think he's going to make Cam Ward a star. I agree. I think some guys are made that way, and I think with Harbaugh's been 18 years, man, 15 years with freaking winning records. And he knows what it's like to win. He knows what it takes to win. So I'm trusting him. I'm not worried about him because I know his main thing is running the ball. And when you got a coach that
I'll
loves to
go with
run the ball,
yes, yes,
hey,
and I'm going to go as far as saying this:
mhm.
John Harbaugh will win another Super Bowl before Lamar Jackson does,
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that.
and that's not an indictment on Jesse Minter. I think he's going to do really good with Baltimore, but I like Lamar. I have nothing
I,
against Lamar, but
mhm.
I don't think Lamar has that intangible. Now, a lot of people would accuse Josh Allen of the same thing, but I don't agree. I think
I
Josh
don't agree.
Allen will win a Super Bowl before he calls it a career.
Josh Allen, Josh Allen he's a tough guy, and unlike Lamar Jackson I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Lamar Jackson. I like watching him play because this guy is freaking dynamic as hell. I love
And he's
watching him.
grown as a player. I do believe that.
Yeah, yeah. But with Josh Allen, I see Josh Allen as more of a power guy. And Josh Allen's the type of guy, he takes over a game mentally and physically. He's going to fight his way into the end zone. He's going to take the hit and he's getting up. You don't see Allen losing, missing games. Allen takes some hard, he takes some hits. But he reminds me of a young Ben Roethlisberger with legs. He'll take a hit and he'll keep going. So I don't see those two are not the same quarterback. I would give the edge to Josh Allen, considering he's never had. I mean, Lamar Jackson had some running backs, man. He's had some decent receivers too and tight ends.
I'll be
Who,
honest, bro. I
yeah,
haven't seen, and feel free to correct me or slow me down if you feel the need to, but
mhm,
I've never seen a quarterback have to do more than Josh Allen,
right on,
probably since Dan Marino,
right.
in a completely different way.
I
Now,
agree. I agree.
am I missing somebody? I'm going to think about it. I'll go over my mental Rolodex of quarterbacks, but truthfully, I have not seen a quarterback be tasked to do more since Dan Marino in Josh
I,
Allen, same
I
division.
agree.
I
I
I
agree.
do think that Buffalo, that DJ Moore signing is going to
Oh,
be
that's gonna
massive.
that's gonna be massive. That's because
He's gonna do better than Steph Diggs did. I'm putting that my name on that
yeah,
right now.
yeah, because he DJ Moore, like Steph Diggs is good, running straight, you know, straight down the field. DJ Moore can run slants, outs, in. I mean, he could play in the slot. He could play on the wing.
And I'm
Either
gonna
way.
just say it. I'm just gonna say it. He's a
Mhm.
little less selfish. And listen,
Oh
Diggs
yeah,
did his job this past year in New England.
yeah.
But
Real Diggs
while
came
this
out.
time it's more off the field, and in previous times it was stuff that was going on in within the
Yeah,
team, it's
yeah.
still the same conclusion. Stephon Diggs always has an issue on the way out, or expedites his way out.
He self destructs. It's like he has a self destruct button. You know, he'll go through a whole. It's like him walking through a building. You say, "Oh, he's gonna make it out the building." As soon as he gets to the doorway to get out, boom, he blows up. That's Steph Diggs. He
No,
can't get out of his.
I I get it. Good analogy. I get it. So far, when I think about teams that are winning in this free agency period,
Yeah.
I'm putting the Giants in the top five.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're filling needs, man.
Um, you absolutely have to put the Ravens after their second edition of a edge rusher after their first one didn't work out. That is, I want to
Yeah.
ask you this, Idris. What are your thoughts on this Max Crosby situation? Do you feel that the Ravens did him dirty, or do you think that I've read all kinds of different conclusions. Some people have said that the Ravens initially wanted both of them up front, and that they really did want to try to pair them.
Yeah, that's what I
I've
believe.
also read that in a way it was a bit of a renege because they weren't happy in retrospect. They kind of pulled the Steinbrenner, like when Steinbrenner gave Winfield all that money,
Yeah,
and Steinbrenner, like I think 10 minutes later, I'm like, well, George, you put ink to
yeah.
paper with him, like
You say,
you're gonna
hold on,
torture
man.
this guy for the
Wait a
next
minute.
decade? You're gonna
Right.
torture him for the next decade? No, you know what I mean though. Like
Yeah.
it's wild. It's very bizarre, and more is gonna come out. More is gonna come out. But I don't know. I was just curious what you thought.
I think it's crazy, dude. I don't know what they're doing, dude. I really don't know what they're doing. I'm like, I don't know, man. I
I mean,
don't,
Trey
I
Hendrickson is a great pivot. I mean, that's an
yeah,
awesome pivot, no doubt
yeah,
about that.
yeah,
But it's just so damn bizarre the way it
yeah,
went down, and the exit shout out to the Raider Nation, and then the entry shout out saying that he has every intention of delivering Baltimore's third Super Bowl, being a part of it.
yeah.
It's crazy. It is truly crazy. Carolina Panthers. I don't like that they lost Rico Dowdell.
I don't
I
either,
think the
man.
Pittsburgh Steelers are winning right now in free agency, and not just because of
You
that
know,
move. I also like
you
that they're
know,
beefing up that receiving corps.
Carolina. I don't know what to say with that. You, Rico, and Rico wasn't full time. Rico balled out. You got a
Rico
guy.
put the ratio in his favor. Chuba
You
Hubbard's
brought a
always been a capable guy that's been able to stick around going back to when they still had McCaffrey.
yeah,
But
but you
I'm
had a one
sorry. You can't lose that
man.
guy.
You had a 1-2 punch, a 1 and a 1 punch, and you
Yes,
brought a
indeed.
guy who he's just miles away from his hometown. Miles away, just not long, not even an hour. I don't think maybe an hour, hour and a half from his hometown. You bring him home. They love him in Charlotte. You see Rico's jerseys everywhere. You have a good season with this guy. He was dependable, and then you let him walk. Like, what are you doing? Now you got Chuba, and now it's not a diss towards Chuba, but they had when you got a 1-2 punch like that, like Detroit had Gibbs and Montgomery. You got a 1-2 punch. You had Ernest Bonner and I forgot the other guy that ran with him, Jamal Lewis. When you got a 1-2 punch like that, you don't let that go, and they let
No,
Rico
I mean,
work.
like I said at the top of the hour, if the New York
Yeah.
Giants indeed bring in Jeremiah Love, it puts you in a
Oh
rare
yeah.
list of teams that
Yeah.
have something that so many others don't. And I spoke recently about, the reemergence of the running backs because, offense has changed, the league has changed, the pay scales have changed. But running the rock down somebody's throat is still in style in the year 2026 and beyond.
You're starting to see that because a lot of the quarterbacks coming out now, they're not developing as fast because they're running that stupid ass clap your hands and hike the ball thing. They're not teaching these guys how to read defense. So now these
Well, the other
quarterbacks are
thing too,
coming out.
there's a growing pressure on these kids to hit
Mhm.
the field because you back it up 15, 20 years. It was mandatory almost, unless if
Yeah,
you were coming into a real toxic situation where they didn't have anybody in front of you, that you don't
yeah,
start right away.
you
But
stat.
with the growing pressure of the rookie window, they want to get
Mhm.
these kids out like immediately, like we're talking October 1st, if not starting
Mhm.
the season.
And they're not learning the game, dude. They're not learning how to read defense. I mean, every quarterback I see, just about almost every quarterback comes out cannot read zone defense. And the zone defense
I'll
is
give
where
a shout out to Jaden Daniels. Year 3 is going
yeah.
to be big for him
Mhm.
because that was one of the things we mentioned. Brian Dable. That was one of the things that really tantalized Brian Dable going back to that particular draft. Ultimately, we got his teammate Malik Neighbors. I think we did rather well for
Yeah.
a second choice. We There's no doubt about it. The Giants wanted Jaden Daniels. Year 1, we know
Right.
what he did. He goes to the NFC title game,
Hmm.
upsets the Lions. What were they? 15
Yep.
and 2. 15-2 Lions
Yeah.
upsets them. And the team that won was supposed to win. As much as I don't want to acknowledge that, it was the Eagles, and they deserved it and they earned it. But the
Right.
point is, year 2, injuries galore.
Hmm.
Now we're starting to question if Dan Quinn's the right guy there.
I don't think he is. I really don't think he is. I think Dan Quinn
Back
is
to
a
my
defense.
mom's comment here. It's been on the screen for a minute. I just haven't had a chance to get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, missing intelligence in the fan base. The late great John Madden with Pat Summerall gave the Giant fans the best kind of compliment you could give.
Yes.
One thing about these Giant fans is that they know their football and they are intelligent. And,
How talented.
once upon a time, getting tickets to a Giant game, you better be related to somebody.
Yeah, you wasn't getting in there. And we had bad years, and that place was still packed. You know, it's just these younger Giant
Now,
fans. They just,
yeah,
they just, I don't know. I don't know, man.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Sometimes when accessibility comes a little easier,
Yeah,
stupidity is right next to it.
right next to it. Yep.
Because I'll keep it a buck. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
I don't need it. I
When
don't
when
need it.
I when I see guys like, I'll give you an example. Like Doug Rush has always been really good at on his
Yeah,
personal page, giving us
yeah,
instant information,
yeah,
which I greatly appreciate.
yeah.
And you got fools on here, and they're like, Bobby O hasn't been signed yet. I'm like, Doug, they released his ass and just
They
like,
were,
you don't know this?
yeah, right.
I'm not saying that everybody has to have a podcast. I'm not saying that everybody has to live it and breathe it the way I do. There's different
Right.
levels to this shit.
But least pay
But it's
attention.
like, you didn't know that?
Right, Bobby.
I would be embarrassed to not know that. I would, or if I didn't know that, I wouldn't be typing some shit on there.
Bobby Kerry Kelly. What are y'all guys talking about? Like, dude. Yeah, it's insane, man. It's just I think a lot of the guys, a lot of people who watch it, they were young. They came in when the Giants won in 2007 or 2011. That's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they saw the dark years. They never went through the dark years. And they think every team, it's just like with OBJ. Okay, we traded OBJ to Cleveland. Now they were
Listen,
everybody,
the fact that you got people in the fan base that call that dude a legend, that's all you need to know.
yeah. And then when he won, he got the Super Bowl in Los Angeles, but he tore his knee up. He didn't finish the game. And they said, see what happened? He got a Super Bowl. I said, dude, he got a Super Bowl 5 years later and another torn ACL later.
Now,
I said,
revisionist history. When you traded him to Cleveland, ultimately the main pick that we received, in addition to Jabril Peppers, who was already in the league,
yep,
ultimately it's Dexter Lawrence.
right. And he was
In
good for us for a while.
revisionist history,
Yeah.
the fact that we had a generational talent like Saquon, did the Giants
Hmm.
fuck that up over emotions, or did they still do the right thing when you consider that OBJ was never right? Because sometimes the environment also makes the man.
Yeah, and I try to tell these dummies, I said, look, OBJ when he's healthy, he is electric. He's incredible. The problem is when he's healthy. He didn't
And
play
his
half
most
the
recent
game.
work,
Yeah,
you know how it went down.
right. In his career,
Nine
he hasn't.
catches for a team that passes the ball a ton in Miami at the time when they picked him up. Mike McDaniel
Right.
offense, he caught 9 passes.
Shoot, you're supposed to catch about 50, even if you're coming off the bench at least. And that's what
I
I'm
thought
saying.
he
I'm
did
like,
admirable job. I thought he did an admirable job in Baltimore as a mentor. That's why I wouldn't completely
yeah,
rule out, you know. But like I
yeah,
said, I've said this so many times. With all the kids coming out and speed is such an important variable at that position. I'm not saying he suddenly got slow, but there's so much to being the what he was and what he is now. And what he is now is the most overhyped number three slash number four receiver in the NFL. It's
he is.
crazy.
I try to tell our fan base, I said, dude, do you guys realize in his career he's only played half the game that he was projected to play in his career up to this point? I said, when he played for us, he played half of the games because he was hurt. I said his
But
first season he had a bad quad.
the thing that gets me nuts with this is Victor Cruz to me was a more important Giant than Odell Beckham Jr. was. But
Hmm.
nobody in this fan base seems to have the separation anxiety, the separation issue with Victor Cruz.
Right,
Obviously, Cruz packed it in.
right.
That was a severe knee injury. Plus, he already had a pre-existing situation
Yeah,
coming in from his college days. He was an undrafted guy, and then he
right,
got hurt in the preseason after scorching the Jets the year before. He lit the
hmm,
league on fire. So
right.
I just don't. Sometimes I just don't get it. You take a guy like Hakeem Nicks, who
Hmm.
was a decorated college player and approaching top 10 status in the NFL before it won up for him, unfortunately, too quickly. We don't win our last Super Bowl if it's not for Nicks. He had a phenomenal postseason. But getting back in center, because I want to spread this out a little. We got Minnesota Murray. Recently, we talked about him going to potentially Pittsburgh, even if it was in a temporary backup role.
Hmm.
How do you feel about him going to the Kevin O'Connell quarterback school now when you consider that he brought back him and Shanahan? I give them both credit for building back up Sam Darnold. I mean, I thought Carson Wentz was playing admirable football for Minnesota when he got called upon. And J.J. McCarthy, it's been a bit of a topsy turvy ride. I think the ability is there. I think he has the winning acumen going back to Michigan, but it's a health thing. I think Murray has a great opportunity here to really reclaim his career.
I tell you what, JJ McCarthy, get used to carrying that clipboard because
Yeah, brother, I tend to agree.
whoever leaves Kevin McConnell or gets under him, like if a veteran goes see Kevin McConnell, they come out a better quarterback than what they were when they went in. And
No question.
Sam Darnold is the prime example. So,
Yeah, man. And
you know,
those Jet fans got to be hurting
they got to be
over
hurt.
what went down last month in the Super Bowl. Let me
Yeah,
ask you,
yeah.
friend of the show I spoke to, fellow Giants fan, brought to my attention
Mhm.
that potentially this whole Geno Smith fiasco with going back to the Jets. And for those of you who don't know, Geno Smith owed a teammate a substantial amount of money. Geno Smith, being the quarterback one, thought that he was too good to
He
have to
also had a
even
big mouth.
worry about paying a reserve money.
He
He
also
got
had a big
chin
mouth.
checked. He broke his jaw.
Yeah.
The other dude got immediately released. Gino wasn't far behind, and his career went to shit before, rekindling his career in Seattle.
Yeah.
He was terrible with the Raiders last year.
Oh
Point
my goodness.
is this a tank job for potentially getting Arch Manning?
That's all I can see, man. That's all I can see. Because now that Kyler Murray is in Minnesota, who's left? Kirk Cousins, because Atlanta But then again, Atlanta might have to keep him because, like I said, uh, Penix is not going to come back right away, and we already know he's a mass unit. Tua,
And then, this is that the
you
Tua
can
and Penix connection is just wacky. I'm
you can
like,
hit
that's what
you
you
can
land
hit
on.
you can hit Tua in the head with a freaking wet newspaper, and his ass might be killed. You might kill
Yeah,
him.
and we're not making fun of the dude. It's that
Nah, you got a
he's
mush
had some
mullet.
serious head injuries.
Yeah, he has a mush mullet. So and with them losing Chris Algier, I was just saying it too that day. You just got Bijan Robinson back there. I know they're going to get another running back there, but Chris Algier was like a good compliment to Bijan Robinson. He didn't have the speed as Robinson, but he had that power and could break it away. So, JJ McCarthy, dude, I don't know about you, dude. Kevin McConnell get a hold of Kyler Murray and fix his mechanics and say, look here, dude, my record is proven. I can fix you. And he's playing on the fast track in Minnesota too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I mean, he has a big arm.
Yeah, he has a big arm.
He has a big
Yeah.
arm. You got Jordan Addison opposite of Justin Jefferson.
Oh man,
You've got
he got
a
more
capable offense.
he got more mobility than JJ McCarthy too.
And I love what Brian Flores
hmm
was able to produce last season with that defense, despite
Yeah,
not winning nearly as many games as they anticipated when you consider that they were playing for the 1 seed
right,
just a year ago.
right.
So, you know, uh, I get it. Did
hmm
how many people seriously, no matter how well we know quarterbacks, had the Sam Darnold bingo card winning a Super Bowl? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I thought that he was going to. I mean,
Nah,
Seattle was a great situation, and I'm not taking nothing away from the man.
I
The
had him
man
going to
played
the
played
playoffs. I had
phenomenal.
him in the playoffs, but I had him in the playoffs as a wild card. I figured like Frisco or the Rams would be. Well, I think we both had the Rams. I had them making it as a wild card. I did not have them going to the Super Bowl. No, nah, not that fast. You just left Minnesota and probably had your greatest year of your career. Then you
No
go to
doubt.
Seattle and you're the starter in a whole new system. Nah, if you just told me, nah, I said, nah, nah, uh-uh, nah. Matt Stafford's taking them to the Super Bowl. That's what I had. But
Yeah, I think a
yeah,
lot of people landed on the Rams as the popular pick. I mean, they were my pick last year going in, and if you revisit that game,
yeah,
it was awfully close. Even if you revisit the head-to-head,
yeah.
the Rams, that first game in Seattle, they should have won that game.
They
And
should
then
have
who
won.
knows? If you
Yeah.
don't play in front of the 12s, does it matter? Listen,
But
I think both those teams are capable of beating each other on each other's field.
oh, you know what?
I personally think the Rams were the best team in the NFL. They didn't win
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. It happens.
You know what? The one thing about the 49ers, the Rams, and the Seahawks, they play like division rivals because all of their games are close. You know, all of their games are close. Let's go back a couple of years. All their games are close. But let me ask you a question. Now, Kyler Murray is off the board. Who does the Jets pick up?
Well, I mean, they got Geno. They're not going to touch Mendoza because the Raiders are going to get a king's ransom if they trade or just pick him.
Gino is not with the Jets?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
wasn't kidding.
I thought you
I
was
had to read it like 4 times because I couldn't believe what I was looking at.
dude. The Jets are going to jet, man.
You
I
got
mean,
that shit right.
you know something? If you would have told me that yesterday, and you'd be like, look here, I think the Jets gonna trade for they're gonna pick up Gino. I'm like, Ricky, you drink too much.
Well, usually I put an article whenever I'm announcing anything on my socials, but because it's the Jets and because it's so stupid,
The Jets will
but
jet.
that's what I was getting at about a friend of mine mentioned This could be the
Oh,
tank for Arch Manning
it's got to be.
because because I
It's
mean, bro, he's coming off a
he looked like
horrendous season.
dude. He looked like that when he played for the Jets the first time. That's what he
Literally,
looks like.
literally.
They brought him back, dude. What did y'all say? And I read an article where Wink Martindale said that Aaron Glenn wanted to hire him as a DC, but old Woody didn't want it and had Aaron Glenn hire dude. Anyway, it's the Jets will jet, man. That's what
This
they
is a
do.
different level. This is a different level of dysfunction.
This is
Going
it. This
back
is
to, letting Aaron Rodgers basically manipulate the franchise on a level as if you were getting him
uh,
when he
oh,
was.
that's the
I mean,
Jets,
I'll be
man.
honest, dude. The final year in Green Bay, I'm not saying he had a bad year, but that should have been the indicator that
That was it.
do
Yeah,
not, immediate buyer's remorse on the 9/11 game where he tore his Achilles. It's not going to happen to anybody,
yeah.
but it will happen to the Jets.
It was Adam Gates.
My God.
Yeah,
Robert Saleh got the short hairs.
yeah,
Robert Saleh is gonna do well in Tennessee. I'm telling you
I,
this.
I think so too.
Tennessee is one of my way too early bubble teams. Not only bubble teams to the playoffs, but a team that might turn around and
They
surprise
might.
everybody and win that division next year.
They look pretty good at the end of towards the end of the season. They look
I
good.
like what they're building there. I'm
They
not playing around.
they
Did they
are
pay? Did they
young
overpay Wandell and Bellinger a little bit?
a little bit, but you know what? You're
But they
paying for
fit into what they're doing.
right. You're paying two guys, two veterans who have a well. He's not. He won't be a rookie this coming up, but you got two veteran guys who know the OC, and now you helping a young quarterback, get into the groove. But back to the Jets, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Why not trade for Kirk Cousins? Right, look, we still want for this guy. We'll take
I
half his.
mean, he wants to
Oh,
be a starter, and there's no other, like, how would you say, easier path to be a starter this year. But
you
I
got
think
Brees,
this is like a tentative tank job. I'm not even joking, bro.
but you know what? With the Jets, they can tank for Arch Manning all they want. Knowing them dummies, they'll get the number one pick and trade down to the number 27 pick.
You
Dude,
know
that's
what's
the Jets.
wild, bro?
Dude.
You
That's
know
the
what's
Jets.
wild?
Yeah,
You remember when, obviously, the Manning family pulled the John Elway and said,
yeah.
"Hell no, he's not going to San
Everybody,
Diego."
don't say it. Don't say it, Richie. Because you know what?
Do you
That
know how
might happen.
funny this could? Do you know how funny it would be
Dude, that would be
that
hilarious.
2 decades later, over 2 decades later, Eli's nephew comes out and the Manning family's like, we ain't
Ah,
going to East Rutherford.
we ain't
We ain't
going back
going
to
to New
New York.
York. Oh no.
You know what? They might do that. They might do that. Because you know why? You know something, Richie, that right there, you might be on to something because, and here we go, we're talking like we're on the phone again, but you might be on to something, dude, because Archie Manning might be like, you know what? I don't care. I did it once, I'll do it again. Because of Woody, because of the owner.
That's what
I
I'm
don't want my
saying,
son
bro.
to play. That's what I'm saying. What you're saying is not far fetched because of
Now
old
speaking
Woody.
of now speaking of owners, back to the other MetLife guys for a second.
Yeah,
Steve Tisch
yeah,
supposedly going to the league, trying to separate
catch,
himself. Bro, this sounds like the Vince McMahon situation,
don't it?
right?
Don't it?
And
Sure does.
I'll be honest. I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not into punishing children for their father's sins, so to speak, or sins, so to speak. I don't roll that way.
Yeah.
However,
Hmm.
I think it's a bad look if the NFL allows him to keep it in the family.
I agree. And I like Steve Tisch, but you know, you got to do what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And let's just say hypothetically, if it, you know, there's no going around it. That name and the way Tish explained it, adult women and da da da. So in other
Yeah,
words, it's like, yeah, I did some real douchey shit, but I wasn't trafficking nobody, and I wasn't. These weren't minors and all this other shit.
yeah,
But it depends how everybody looks at all this. I mean, Bob
right.
Kraft has become quite the meme after his situation.
Right.
You saw him on stage with Cardi, right?
Yeah. I
I was
was
like,
seeing it
damn,
with
bro.
Cardi. Hey, you know what? It's crazy. Uh, I like Bob Kraft because Bob Kraft does he don't care. I like Jerry Jones because Jerry Jones don't care. Jerry Jones, I love those two owners because they're like the same guy. Just one is, I would say one is ghetto, Jerry Jones, and one is more like upper crust, Robert Kraft. But they're the same dude. They're the
No, and a
same
lot of and that's why I always laugh when Brett's on the show and when Jerry is a topic of conversation,
dude. Yeah,
how he can't stand Jerry. I'm
I
like,
love
bro,
Jerry.
you can't. They are similar.
That's
Now the most
similar.
similar to Jerry, and I've said this so many times in the past,
My baby.
is literally um, the late George Steinbrenner.
Oh yeah, George Stop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But in that
Oh
but in that regard, the way that you are saying it, there's similarities. But yes,
yeah.
it's a good comparison. Like,
You know,
listen, I don't have nothing against Robert Kraft whatsoever. And
right.
and truthfully, I don't think Roger Goodell really does either, because what people fail to realize is that every league, even though Goodell was pissed as shit with the Brady situation with the footballs, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it was more pissed at himself because he didn't slam down the hammer when he had some legitimate shit like Spygate, because Spygate was bad.
Spaghetti is bad. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Like Bob Kraft. Now don't get me wrong. I think he's an idiot. You know. But I like him and Jerry because they're so entertaining. Like Jerry, I don't hate Jerry. I really don't hate Jerry. I like Jerry because Jerry is entertaining. Jerry is an entertainer. He is. He's good at it, and he says
Absolutely,
it.
I completely agree.
So
I
that's why
completely
I like
agree
him.
with that.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
why I like Jerry. Now is he a douche too? Yeah, he is. But like I said, I like Jerry based on entertainment because the guy is hilarious, and he lets you know I want to be in the media. I want people to talk about me. Where a lot of owners won't say that even though they want to be. Jerry tells you,
No
I
doubt.
just
No
this is
doubt.
my shit.
I couldn't agree. I literally could not agree anymore.
Yeah, but as for
Before we
Tish,
get out of here, though,
yeah,
before we get out of here,
yeah.
I want to divert this for the World Baseball Classic for a second.
People,
Team USA is so very fortunate,
yes,
and
sir.
we talk about bingo cards and not seeing stuff coming. This Italian team is playing to win. They're not just overachieving. They are playing to win.
And
Francisco
win.
Cervelli has done a phenomenal job with these guys, and Vinny Pasquantino with the 3 home runs.
Look out.
They're playing Puerto
Watch.
Rico next. I can't
Ooh,
lose.
that. Ooh,
I can't.
woo.
I can't lose. But my prediction is that Puerto Rico is going to give the Italians their first loss.
I think they will too, but that should be a good one, dude.
That's going to be really good.
That should be a good
Really good.
one.
I hope that the American team. Um, I mean, listen, it's such a short tournament. It's set up
Yeah,
really where anyone could win because you know
you got
we
that
know
team
that the
right back.
Americans have a ton of talent,
Yeah,
but unfortunately, Nolan McLean gave up a couple of uncharacteristic home runs. But what won that game, in my opinion, happened way in the third inning, where Aaron Judge was not able to come up to bat with two guys, what would have been potentially two guys on.
hmm
Um, the Italians were feeling it, the heat and the nerves in that moment. Bobby Witt Jr. stole second and third. That was the moment Mexico, damn good team, but the Americans got the break they needed. I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna put my stamp on it. I think the Americans are gonna end up in the final. I think it's Japan and the United States. I really do.
Yeah, yeah.
But if Italy wins, bro, you talk about. I
They
think it's
coming.
good for the tournament. Major League
Yeah,
Baseball might not be happy about it because your upper crust stars play for the Stars and Stripes,
right.
but it
Watch out,
it's gonna
dude.
be interesting, bro.
Watch out, dude. Because Italy, you never know. When you got a team that's playing with house money, you know, hey,
Yeah,
you
but
got nothing to lose.
Savelli is doing a truly phenomenal job. I the former Yankee catcher, he's made his rounds in the league. He's doing a hell of a job. It's impressive. It really is. Defensively, some of the plays that and stabs they made in the field, like they deserve to win that ball game.
That's what I like about the WBC because it's the prelude to the baseball season. You get the best against the best, and the season starts, then you get the best against the best again for
And
160.
the fact that Spencer Jones is spending time, obviously, in spring training with the Yanks and competing,
Yeah,
um, I think it's going to bring out the best in Jason Dominguez, where now you have a good problem to have. I think the Yankees, in
right.
retrospect, may actually regret
Hmm.
um, the qualifying offer for Trent Grisham. I mean, I don't wish it on. I like Grisham, but
Yeah,
duplicating the year he had last year,
nah,
very unlikely.
nah, nah. I
But
agree.
make a liar out of me. And Knicks, I'm going to call
Right.
you guys out too. Oh, okay, cool. I'm
Oh,
happy that you guys fought back and beat the lowly Utah Jazz.
whoop de
Guys,
doo.
I call
What
it
about the
like I
Nets?
see it.
Yeah,
Nothing would pain me more than seeing the Boston Celtics, whether they're the three or the two, however it plays out. There's still time for the Knicks to be the two, however it plays out. There's still time for the Knicks
yeah,
to be the four, also.
yeah,
Um, if the Knicks and Celtics play in the playoffs based on what I've seen through
yeah.
almost an entire season, the Boston Celtics are going to beat the Knicks in 6 games.
I was gonna say 4-2, 4-2.
Yeah, I
I don't
am
know.
I am putting my stamp on it right now, and there's nothing that I hate more than having to be honest and pick a Boston team over a New York team, especially if it's a New York team I root for.
Like I
But
was
I
more
call
like
it down the middle, and that's how I see it.
yeah, like Alvarado only played 8 minutes the other night. I'm like, well, damn, come on, wait a minute.
Yeah, Mike
Like,
Brown is feeling the pressure. Mike
yeah,
Brown is definitely feeling the pressure. But I'll be honest with you, I'm putting this on the players, not on the coach.
yeah, yeah.
It's
We
put
gotta
up or
do
shut up. We're gonna find out. I mean, last
we'll
year,
find out.
last year they elevated their play when it mattered most. Um,
Yeah,
but the Indy series, I'm sorry, we're a better team than Indy. We didn't win. We're a better team.
we're better.
The Knicks have a better roster than the Boston Celtics. If the Knicks do not at minimum make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, which I don't think that's something to do a backflip over either. The way things were set up this season. If the Knicks get knocked out in round two, there's going to be hell to pay.
It's gonna be hell to pay.
But you know what?
Yeah,
It might be exactly what the doctor ordered because one thing that going back to it, once again, I'm not going after the coach,
yeah,
but they had a very hard time figuring out who the coach was going to be. Now, am I
yeah,
in favor of them moving on from Tom Thibodeau? I still am because I don't think
yeah.
Tibbs would have got them over.
Nah, nah. I
But
don't think so.
I'm telling you, bro, if they get banged out in round two, Mike
Woo!
Brown might have a short stay, even if it's not his fault.
He might. He might. Yeah.
And that's
It,
all I
that.
got to say about that. If you haven't already, please make it a point. Like and subscribe to the channel. Richie
Yup,
Hicks
yup.
Jr. Sports Podcast on YouTube. And check out uh, Idris's album, both of them. Jazzmatical, Old Man Energy Volume 2.
Yup.
Check out Old Man Energy Volume 1. A ride through the golden era. The boom bap era of hip hop is still alive in the year 2026. Make it a point to check out the album, purchase the album. It's a symphony for the ears on both sides, and that's all I got to say about that.
Appreciate it. That's all.
Idris, any final thoughts?
Let's go baseball. We almost there. 2 more weeks, man. Let's get it.
I can't wait. I can't wait. And I
Yeah.
told you, I've been saying it frequently. I'm gonna make it a point to get out to New York for the Fourth of July.
Oh, let me know.
And
I can meet
when I get back to Florida, I'll probably attend a game at the Trop because the Yankees happen to be in town right after that. But Mets Yankees, July 4th, Yankee Stadium. I'm definitely going to be linking with Dorney, doing everything in my power to come up for that one. Dorney's a fun
let me
guy to
know.
watch a game with, bro.
Let me know because I like to check that one out for sure. I'm definitely gonna come down to
Absolutely.
the
Go
Bronx.
back
Definitely,
to your old stomping grounds.
definitely gonna go
When's the
to the
last time
Bronx.
you've been to the Bronx?
Uh, 2025, no, 2024, 2024. I didn't make it
Oh,
last
not
year.
too long ago. Okay, not too long ago. A couple years.
Yeah, but that's too long for me. I try to get there at least once a year. So
Yeah,
that's it.
buddy. Yeah, buddy. I'm fired up, bro. I can't wait. And we got March Madness around the corner as well. Major League Baseball around the
Yep.
corner. WBC is. I'll be honest. I'm enjoying this WBC. I find it kind of exciting, and it's a good appetizer. Like I said, as Idris actually said, for baseball,
Yeah.
it's around the
Yeah.
corner. And NFL free agency. Usually after the first 5 days, you get like a little lull, and then you start getting some more action again ahead of the draft. So NFL
True.
draft around the corner. Good time to be a sports fan, and good time
Oh
to
yeah.
do a sports podcast. Idris, I appreciate you coming on later than usual tonight, as a couple of things got dinged with the schedule. But we'll be back. Announcements to come for our next show.
Yep. 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 Yep.
We out. Thanks for
Hey.
hanging.
Yes, sir. Dum, 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 dum.